Delighted to be joined in the Mobile World Live studio by Pardeep Kohli. Pardeep is CEO of network software provider Mavenir. Pardeep, it's good to see you again.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Welcome to MWC 23, Pardeep. In the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of activity around the core and the RAN that's been linked to Mavenir. I mean, we've had Dish in the US, ICE in Norway, Paradise in Bermuda, and of course, a big Telefonica announcement as well. What's the underlying takeaway there, Pardeep?
Oh, last year was very exciting for us. We crossed our first 100 million revenue, both in Open RAN and in Packet Core, each of one of them. Of course, people have known us for IMS and messaging. You saw a Dish announcement. We have now close to 8,000 sites live, driving 40,000 radios. And that's a big achievement because last year, when around this time, people had a doubt whether Open RAN can scale and can do big networks. Now, close to 40,000 radios is really big. And the other names you mentioned, we have done good work in Packet Core, Deutsche Telekom in Germany, in ICE Norway, as you pointed out. So they're deploying our complete 5G SA Packet Core. Of course, our Packet Core supports all the previous technologies as well, 2G, 3G, and 4G, in addition to 5G. And then, of course, with Telefonica, we are migrating from competition network provider software to our own software for the IMS and other applications. So good growth in all the different segments, which include the voice messaging, Packet Core, and the radio.
So some big operator names and customer wins for you there, Pardeep. We've also seen some big vendors make waves in the Open RAN market as well. What does that mean for a company like Mavenir?
It's actually a good thing because, when we are the only one and we're talking about Open RAN and then a competition doesn't follow you, now actually we do see, today there was an announcement made with Deutsche Telekom picking Nokia and us, of course, working with Fujitsu Radio and our Massive MIMO radio as well. So in that sense, we see progress being made by other competition providers, Nokia and Samsung, so which is good because that means the ecosystem is increasing, adoption is increasing, and actually, as you say, the ball is moving more in our direction because now operators are starting to view the Open RAN architecture as a viable architecture and it's something which they can deploy in future. Last week, there was an announcement also by the European big 4 or 5 operators on the MOU for accelerating the Open RAN deployments. So it's all good news for us and actually it's moving in our direction.
There's always news at MWC, of course, Pardeep. And last year at MWC, Mavenir introduced your own set of O-RAN compliant radios. Tell us a little bit about how that business is going.
That's growing quite well. If you come to our booth, we're actually showing now 9 different platforms, which is all our designed radios. Of course, we work with 16 other partners who do the Open RAN radios. We are really promoting Open RAN ecosystem where our baseband can work with radios from other vendors. And same way, our radios can work with the baseband from other vendors as well. So in that sense, I think we want more people to come in and more people to do the radio. And of course, we have built our own radios, but we're willing to work with other people's radios as well.
Network automation, obviously another key area of interest for operators. The RIC is getting a lot of attention at the moment, Pardeep, Radio Intelligent Controller. Walk us through the role that the Radio Intelligent Controller plays in driving automation.
It actually brings many advantages of Open RAN to the forefront. The whole idea of Open RAN is that you can innovate and evolve much faster, and you're not limited to proprietary hardware. So typically, in a proprietary hardware, you build an ASIC, everything is hard-coded and built as a semiconductor chip. Now with Open RAN, you can do it as a software, and RIC there plays a big component because a lot of algorithms for automation and how do you traffic steering, how do you get the best spectral efficiency can be done based on the real-time information you get from the network rather than a pre-assumed, predefined structures. And that's where, think of this way, like in the past we used to drive cars and it had a navigation, but navigation system had no real-time knowledge. And if there's a traffic jam somewhere, you get stuck. Versus these days with online apps, you can go around it and they tell you to go, okay, don't take left here, take right there. Think of RIC the same way, that based on the real-time information you get from the real network, it will be able to adopt it on the fly and take the whole Open RAN interface to actually get the best outcome for the consumer.
Exciting times for the industry, exciting times for Mavenir. Pardeep, thank you for joining us. Have a great